Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Thursday, April 13th, 2023. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Happy Thursday, everyone. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. The previous session, price pushes up to a new high, gets beyond the previous week's high, and then fails back down, becoming an outside day here. Very nice high range day, big time reaction up there at those highs. On inflation data, and then a bearish finish to the day. So that's not a bad day one rejection right there. Is it enough to push price back down, perhaps back to year-to-date VWAP or right into the previous month's midpoint? You have the middle of the range at 4,000 as well. That's where the breakout occurred in the move. So does this failed new high bring us back to 4,000 up ahead? That's something to watch out for. Early on, we've seen a modest pullback to the previous month's high and close, just shy of the previous session's midpoint. This is a good spot here to watch between 41.35 and 41.40 for a shot at rejection. Any pullback here this morning could be met with selling pressure from the bears looking for an inverted checkmark trend day to go find the edge, go find 40.96.5, and maybe even close negative. If it closes bearish here, closes below these lows, it could be an indication that we're dropping up ahead. So today could be one of those days where it can find its sea legs to the downside after early pullback and sell-off, but it's also still stuck inside the trading range. So we haven't really formally broke out from the range just yet, which means after rejecting one edge, we could easily drop to the lower edge and then bounce right back up until we're ready to see a breakout. All right, let's take a look here at the NQ. The NQ also with a similar rejection in the previous session. Nice push through the 4-day highs with a responsive rejection there. That rejection occurring after inflation data came out, pushed prices higher, and then the rejection occurred pretty quickly after that. 2 hours of selling pressure that followed, late day selling pressure to push the price to the previous week's low and through it. So the NQ, the first to get through the previous week's low, didn't close below it, bounced and held, and right now we're seeing a little bit of a pullback here after yesterday's selling pressure. So this one is the closest there to perhaps finding a breakdown up ahead. Again, the early pullback this morning could be met with selling pressure by bears looking to defend for a shot at inverted checkmark trend day price action. If you see this thing go back to the 8-period average up here, that might be a high end of the range. You also have the previous session's midpoint. Somewhere in that zone could be an opportunity here for bears to defend and pull back. If it starts to eat through 13.1 and really starts to push up, then we're still stuck in the range and we're just headed higher within the range. All right, let's take a look here at crude oil. Crude oil got some follow through to the upside in the previous session, was able to push through the 82s, actually closed beyond 83s, and got a high of 83.53. Incredible move there. The level that we've been talking about is the 83.53 level. That's an FOMC key level. It's right where a falling 200-day moving average is, and this is a major market structure edge. Crude oil is making a move right now, but it's really this zone, this level, that we need to see a transition day through. So if I draw a line through that 83.52, we got one tick beyond it here. We're holding at it right now. Are we going to see follow through to the upside, or do we reject at some point and fall back into the range? So right now, watching to see how this develops here, but off that line, this is a big time level here. We haven't seen a full-on breakthrough just yet. Instead, we're pulling back a little bit today after yesterday's trend day move up. We could still see a tremendous push through this level, only for it to fall back down by the end of the day. And that would be, again, a failed breakout attempt. So again, this is an important spot in the chart here. A push through this area, a transition day through it. This is a transition day, a day where it takes you well above, all the way well through that level and closing beyond it. It gets you from the upper market structure here and transitions you to the lower market structure that is to come. So that's the type of day we need to get if this thing's going to rally up to 94s. Otherwise, watching for signs here of a failure, which could lead to a fill of the gap up ahead. If we take a look here at gold futures, this one's up 1.67%, so 1 2/3% right now, and it's on highs. Today's high 2060.8. It's a couple of points off that level right now, but driving higher at the moment. Still not finding any signs of rejection, and looks poised to reach the previous year's high at 2078.80, and perhaps even take out the 5-year highs here at 2100. So continued strength here. Very bullish Pima trigger zone. This thing's pushing through highs. Even with a sharp reaction yesterday to inflation data, this thing continues to show strength here, with a shot at testing those highs up ahead. All right, let's take a look lastly at the YM. The YM here had a pretty solid move to the upside, starting with this failed new low, which slingshot things to the upside, held gains, and was able to put in a high yesterday. All of this coming off of some of the previous market structure we talked about, the 33K level up to about 34,500. That zone right there, and you can see how price responded here and recaptured acceptance back above that zone and is now in the middle. So this is still a very bullish move. We have ourselves a decent rejection yesterday, but again, this has been among the most bullish movers here lately, the YM, lately at least. Now, if we see this thing pull back, even as deep as 33K, could still be a move back and forth within this range, 33K to 34.5, that is now transitioned back above that level. So will it be a deeper pullback like this? Do we get a smaller pullback and go? Right now, pullback still could be defended for a continuation to the upside in the YM. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out heading into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.